Thanks, Leah. And thank you, Linda. Hey, it is great to be with you guys. Now, I am here because I'm a fan of ALEC. I've followed ALEC for many years, and you invited me. But the real reason I am here is because I was inspired to come by Dick Durbin. All right? We are all in this thing together, and we are in what a lot of us up here call the battle of ideas. You are on the front lines of the battle of ideas. Look, I see what people like Leah Vukmir did in the legislature in Wisconsin. I have seen what state legislatures around this country have done at the tip of the spear, in the mouth of defeat, and have come out in great reforms from states around the country. And you are giving us a great example. All too often up here in Washington, the federal government does not give the states the respect they deserve. The federal government looks at the states as implementing its dictates. That is not how we see it here. We conservatives believe that the states are primary and believe that the states are our partners. And what I want to say to those of you who are up here sharing ideas, cross-pollinating, sharing war stories, giving each other encouragement, is to please keep doing that and come and show us here on Capitol Hill a few things. If you haven't noticed, we've been a little dysfunctional lately. You haven't noticed this town isn't working real well. We want this town to work, but we want this town to work while being consistent and faithful to our principles. That's pretty hard when you have people on the other side of the aisle who are very different in perspective than where you are. So we've got to figure out how to make it work. And we have to do a better job of articulating our principles and explaining to people exactly why what we are proposing and what we are doing, it improves people's lives, is better. Now, thank you. A lot of times we focus on process. A lot of times we focus on the means and not the ends, and we need to focus on the ends. And so when we take a look at what works, we take a look at what ALEC has done in criminal justice reform, what ALEC has done on education reform, what ALEC is doing on healthcare reform. And that tells us that, you know what, all the best ideas aren't on one end of Pennsylvania Avenue or the other. Some of the best ideas for saving this country, for retaining the American idea, for helping people get back up on their feet in their lives, for restoring the American idea of upward mobility, it's in our states, it's our leaders. So thank you for doing that. Keep doing that. And by the way, when you take a look at this town, when you come out here, some of you might think of coming. These days, you might take a second look and thinking twice about it. But please know that we are so respectful and thankful for what you are doing. The trenches are so often government closest to the people. And when you take a look at the challenges we've got up here, we've got a real challenge, and that is this country is coming toward a real fork in the road. Mitt and I ran against what we called big government in the last election. And one of the challenges we had was we had to fight against what we called big government in theory, because a lot of the things that had passed had not been implemented yet. Well, now we've got big government in practice. And it doesn't look quite like what everybody thought it was going to be. The results aren't anywhere close to matching the rhetoric that was used to sell these programs. And nowhere is this more clear than in healthcare. Nowhere is this more clear than in Obamacare. We are seeing wave after wave after wave of broken promise, of broken hearts, of broken systems. Help us fix this. Help us replace this law. Help us by showing us that if you stand up to the special interests, that if you get government to live within its means, which you do in your states, that if you relimit government, people can be free and economies can grow. Please keep showing us these examples. I take a look at some of the pension reforms that have been implemented around the states. I look at what Leah and her great, courageous fellow legislators and our great Governor Scott Walker did to fix some huge problems in our states, and then to watch those fantastic results emerge, and it gives us inspiration. It tells us a great path and a great direction. And these ideas, where do they come from? They come from groups like ALEC. And so all I want to do is be a person who's fighting this fight up here at the federal level and just say to you, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being trailblazers. Thank you for innovating. Thank you for coming up and sharing these ideas. Thank you for the courage that you have exhibited already. Keep doing that. And ALEC, thank you for being this great melting pot of ideas that is advancing real reforms that really actually do help improve people's lives. And when the going gets tough, when the noise and the chatter and the intimidation is even louder, then you know you're actually making a difference. So Linda, thank you for this. Thank you for inviting me to be with you in solidarity. And I just want to say I hope you have a good visit up here with your state legislatures, with your friends up here, and thanks for coming, and have a great evening tonight. Thanks a lot, everybody. Appreciate it.